Hello soul friends, this is Miriam. Welcome back to my channel. Today's pick a card reading is going to be all about how to face your current challenge, whatever challenge happens to be on your mind at the moment. Remember, no matter your individual beliefs, tarot or oracle reading is your spirit guides coming forward to give you advice, or it is simply your subconscious mind helping you answer life's ponders. No matter how you look at that, it is healthy and you are in the right place. These are the decks we shall be using. I use this deck a lot, you can tell, because the little box is getting tired. And for clarification, oh wait, nope, sorry. This is the oracle deck we're using today. My bad, my fumbles. We will be using this one again soon. Okay. For clarification, we will be using this deck. This seller has an Etsy store and what do you call it? An Instagram page. I will link her info in the description box because her decks get counterfeited so bad, and I don't want you to end up with something that's not the real thing, because her decks are amazing. I have 2 of them. Actually, I have 3, because the deck we're using today is a first edition, and then the second edition came out and I got that, and then she has this cool Egyptian one I need to do reviews on. Well, all of them. Maybe one day. All right. If you like to pick with your little crystals and unicorns, this is group 1. You have like a little very pale, like champagne-y kind of pink unicorn. And a very pale pink quartz. Sorry. Group 2, you have some onyx and this little yellowish unicorn. Yes, yes, yes. Sorry. They're a little, these unicorns are a little bit wobbly, not gonna lie. So that's why I'm taking so long. It gives you time to concentrate. You can always skip if you already picked. Clear quartz and the blue unicorn. I don't know why that one wanted to show you its nose, but I just go with the flow. Amethyst and a darker pink unicorn. That one wanted to give you kisses. Interesting. Okay. That was interesting, little unicorn. I wonder what that means. Maybe that will help some of you choose somehow. That you got the kissy unicorn. We'll just call it that from now on. Pink unicorn, kissy unicorn. All right. We will see you in your individual readings. Bye. Hello, group 1. So if you picked little pinky unicorn, kind of peachy, and the rose quartz, let's go ahead and get into your reading all about how to overcome the challenge currently facing you. Let's start with this one. We have good fortune, invite magic in. Ooh, excellent. We have some, what are those, pansies, I believe? I don't really do well interpreting flowers. Hang on, let me look at this up close and see what I can see. More flowers, but I'm not sure what those flowers are. There's a castle in the background. Butterflies. She's got some butterfly action in her hair, and she also has this vibrant rainbow butterfly wings. Some of you I feel like might be getting dressed up and going to a big event. Perhaps a big event with rainbows or colors or flowers all over, like a parade. What I like is the main message of good fortune, because I feel like whatever's currently challenging you or causing you worry or, you know, just making life a little bit harder. What's up there? I can't tell what that is. Okay. Your guides are showing with this good fortune message. I mean, it's bigger than the invite magic in. It's like, they're like saying, allow yourself to think it's going to turn out well. And I know we've talked about this on this channel before where, you know, like if you're scared of flying, this was something that I had to do because I had to fly by myself for the first time at a very old age because I don't go anywhere for, you know, obvious reasons. But anyway, I had to hop on a couple of planes all by myself, and I'd only flown once before that in my entire life as well. And so I looked up advice on how to combat that in some way, besides, you know, taking like a, you know, prescription sedative of some kind or drinking my face off. And they said to, instead of saying, oh, I'm scared to fly, what if the plane crashes? Oh, I'm excited to XYZ when I get there, and I'm excited to fly through the air, you know, that kind of thing. I'm excited to get a window seat. And I got a window seat almost every single flight except for like the shortest one back on the way back. So anyway, I know I've told that story before on this channel, but your guides are saying to do that, to go through that process to, as the psychologists call it, reframe your thinking from the challenge that you're currently facing being, oh, I'm worried this is going to happen, I'm worried that's going to happen, etc. and so forth, more to, I can't wait for this to work out, I can't wait to get what I want, I can't wait for them to understand, I can't wait for them to be on the same page with me, whatever your current issues are. Also, whenever I see rainbows, I think of like your chakra zones or chakras. I don't know how to say it. I've heard it both ways, and I don't know which one's the actual proper way, and I hate when I don't know. But anyway, let me know in the comments if you say chakras or chakras. But those things, I always feel like it's a message from your guides to kind of tune into them, and maybe even just do like a quick, if you work with them already, you know, do like a quick sweep up and down of, you know, from top to bottom or from bottom to top. Some people work top to bottom, I guess. So find whichever one's comfortable for you. If you've never worked with your chakras, I've been told it's important to like learn about them first and possibly do some other exercises, or even some people even think that you should consult a teacher before you work with them. I still work with mine, but you know, I just, you know, I'm in a free country, so I just do what I want. Everybody has their own beliefs and opinions, and yeah, you know, so just kind of go, but I know I've heard all those different rules, and like the people that feel those way consider those to be rules, right? And would believe that I was breaking a rule if I said that. So that's why I was kind of, you know, yeah. Invite magic in. So whatever you're looking at, even think about the fact that when you reframe, not only does that help you with the anxiety in the moment of going through whatever it is you're going through, like if you're going on that plane ride, right? Not only will this method of grounding, kind of getting yourself into your energetic fields into alignment somehow, however that looks like to you spiritually. If you don't have one of those, maybe look up, you know, some energetic, spiritual, or psychological techniques to help you, right? Because I went with psychology when I went on my plane ride. I actually didn't go spiritual. Because I'm Norse, you know, no one's looking out for me. Something bad happens to you in Norse, you know, they're like, that probably needed to happen to you. Anyway. So anyway, you gotta look out for yourself if you're Norse. Just kidding. We have our little things, but yeah, it is kind of a more independent, natured way to live, I guess. If you, I call it going full Norse because there's really no words for it. All right, so there's no group. It's probably I'm probably the only person going full Norse right now. But back to y'all, whatever your spiritual kicks are, and that's why I just brought being full Norse, whatever that looks like to you, like, you know, you've got a lot of different guides here. So it could be whatever, you know, you do if you're a Christian, or whatever you do if you're Native, or whatever you do if you're, you know, all those other ones. Yeah. Or like, I don't know. I don't want to say too many because I don't know if it's like against certain people's religions to read cards. I know I've gotten calls from Christians, which I was surprised and shocked that they do call. But it's just a different interpretation, I guess. Anyway, I feel like there's a lot of different religious backgrounds here. That's why we're going off on that little tangent. Okay. Invite magic in. I'm not surprised by the next card I'm seeing, but I just want to make sure that we're through everything we need to say here. I don't want to go into individual situations because a challenge is a challenge. You know what you're going through, and I don't want to leave anyone out. That's not to say that if something really specific for one person comes through that I won't say something, because I will. Atticus is here with us right now. That's one of my cats. That's always a good sign of luck with him, because he's what I call a lucky kitty. He's unlucky, but lucky at the same time. Like, bad things happened to him, but he came out, you know? That kind of situation. And he, you know, he doesn't really complain too much about it. So that's coming through, that message for some of you. Some of you have a guide that was like that, that's coming through for some. Okay. My living room feels very full. So either there's a lot of people here, which is what it feels like, a lot of guides here, or it's just some really big guides. I feel like there's a lot. I feel like there's a full house here. 9 of Swords. This is why I'm not surprised to see 9 of Swords. It's that mental anxiety, and it's also a reminder when you get it from your guides. It's a reminder that it's just a feeling. It's not going to come to pass. It's not going to happen for real. Good fortune is coming, but you've got to let them invite the magic in. Ooh, I like that even better. Don't even make the magic come in. Invite it in, because there's something bigger than you out there that can sometimes kind of step in, right? And that's however that looks like to you. Again, disclaimer, if you've never messed around with like a Ouija board before, don't go out and buy one and be like, is anybody there? Guide me. Not the way to do it. But that's just for the people that have never done that before. And you can still use a Ouija board in my rule book, but I don't use it because I don't feel like I'm skilled enough to get it to move or something. I don't know. But anyway, or let it move. But it's about intention. So if you are going into a situation where you're going to do like a reading, or you're going to invite a guide in, or invite some entity in that's going to help you do magic, or help your prayers come true, or whatever, you invoke in only the ones that mean you know, no harm, and they want your highest and best goods, and they're an entity of light, and or a soul or a guide that means to only have your best interests at heart. And that's the best thing to do. Disclaimer done. Okay. But they're saying it's just a feeling. Your guys are saying, you know, let us in. We'll take care of this. Like they're kind of showing that you've got this challenge in the bag. It's very like good news. But there's just that, I feel like, and I'm not making light of your situations. It feels like for some, it's a very, very serious situation. Or at least it feels like super serious. Like the ramifications of it feel huge. However it works out. If it works out well, those ramifications are going to be like, oh, yay. If it works out bad, that's going to be negative ramifications. I get it. If I feel the heaviness of that for some of you. For others, it might just be that maybe it's not that big of a deal on like the historical scale of your life. But the amount of stress that you feel because of what's involved with it is that important to you. That's also coming through. I want to get another one of these cards. There it is. Six of Swords, excellent. See how all the swords are down in the snow and she's by herself, and these birds are flying in almost like, it reminds me of the birds flying in on Lord of the Rings. Did you ever see those movies? That are like old movies now, because I'm old too. Anyway, the Six of Swords traditionally, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen it already, know that it's that like that little huddled masses in that boat, and somebody's rowing them away. There's all these swords just sticking upright in the boat, you know, like stabbed into the boat's wood. That is all about, in my interpreting, and this is my reading, so we can have that if we like. You can, you know, do the more traditional one if you want. To me, it's very much about like escaping unscathed, even though it was like a heavy situation. Once again, we're in this like, I'm not discounting the heaviness, because I know I make like jokes and I, you know, goofy laugh and I do all that stuff, but I understand how this feels, that it's a big deal for a lot of you. The good news is that help comes in time. Those eagles, you know, these are ravens, right? The eagles in Lord of the Rings, they swooped in just in time, right, and got those guys. And then all the smart aleck kids were like, why didn't they do that way back at the beginning? Just fly them all the way there. Touche. That's just not how quest stories work, right? So anyway, I get that feeling from it. I also get this feeling that, see how it's like she's letting go of like two swords and getting ready to like go with them. To me, it almost feels like the message of like, you've slayed all the challenges, you've slayed your enemies per se, right? And you've, you know, don't go slaying anyone literally. Metaphorically slaying your enemies. You know, that this one in Ten of Swords, a lot of times, depending on where the swords are laying, reminds me of somebody winning a battle, right? And so I feel this idea of like putting down her swords, like she's done fighting and she's just going to get like a ride out of there, you know, on the boat or on the birds, whatever. And so it's very much this idea of like, your guides are very loudly saying everything's going to be okay. Like everything is going to be fine. You can let your guard down and not worry about the other shoe dropping or something horrible coming in and ruining it, right? Okay. Feel better yet? I hope so. So I feel like for some of you, this has been a very worrisome situation. Hence the Nine of Swords. This card really wants to come out. Six of Cups. Okay, so the first message that's coming in for this is somebody saying to you, to some of you, that somebody from your past is going to come in and help you, swoop in some way. They're going to help you emotionally. They're going to help you in some way that soothes your emotions if they do it in like a financial or other physical way. Because there's a lot. Sorry, the room's full. Okay. It's going so well. Everything feels like it's going to go so well. You're going to have help, right? And if it's not somebody from your past, it's somebody that makes you feel young again. It's somebody who makes you feel like hopeful again, nostalgic, learning something from your child self comes through with this card in me. Ooh, some of you, it could be a child coming in to help you in some way. When it comes to children coming in to help you, obviously we all have like okay, like the immediate thing that came into my mind was, obviously I don't have kids, so I was thinking about times that a kid, a stranger of a child just like helped you one day, and their mom was right there or whatever, and you're like walking out. For me, I was walking out of the post office and I was just having a rough day, and then I had a rough time at the post office, right? We all know how it is sometimes at the post office. And we have a really nice post office. It wasn't probably anything they did. It was probably what I was posting that was giving me issues. But I digress. I go outside and there's this kid, and he leans out of his car and he says, "You look like you need a hug." I was like, you know what? I do need a hug. And I took that hug. His mom was just like proud of him. It was like, he's very empathetic. And I was like, I feel that. So that's the first kind of way like a kid can help you in weird situations like I'm feeling here. I feel like it's going to be unexpected and it's not going to be for everyone. Some of you it's a person from your past. Some of you it's a person from, that just makes you feel young or feel nostalgic. But like for others, a child is coming to help you. Like for some of you like that are parents, something unexpected, like your kid saying something unexpected to you. And I know that somebody out there that's watching this knows what that feels like when you are, as an adult, losing your, what, because everything is going so challenging, right? Or I whittled that big thing down to it's a challenge because I feel how big it is. I keep wanting to say things like this catastrophic event, but it's not, y'all. It's not. Even if it is, we're getting through this. Where a kid sits down and they just say something to you that's so profound, you just can't even get over how comforting it was. Like one kid one day asked me why I was wearing black, and I told him like a teacher of mine had died and I was in mourning. And he said, oh, what happened? And I told him, and I was like, it just makes me so sad. Like, he was just doing this and then this happened to him and it was so sudden, and he was like, well, he just didn't have any more lessons left to learn and it was just his time. And I thought, oh my goodness, like what what a like absolutely comforting thing for a kid to say. And like, yeah, they're high school students, they don't feel like they're kids, and that's why they say those profound things that they say. And like they can be so insightful. Like I'm feeling a kid coming to you and doing something in that way for you. For some of you, it could be like your kid. And like, if you live with kids, that they're goofy and they do weird stuff and they're also ridiculous sometimes. And it's always extremes. And sometimes they can just be extremely kind and extremely smart. And I feel that coming for some of you. For others, it almost feels like a child coming into your life who's going to be like that as a person. Just kind of swoop in and say the right things all the time. A really special person being born eventually. So if y'all ain't wanting to get preggers, you take some precautions now. All right, let's go ahead and keep on going. Very positive energy, which I feel like so many of you need to hear. Yeah, like take a rest. But I think about Four of Swords, and this is just coming to me right now. I've always had a hard time interpreting it. It was one of the cards that I had a really hard time learning the meaning of. Or like, obviously, if you get a book and it tells you what it means, you can understand or grasp the meaning. But like, a lot of times the meanings in books might not match the image for my brain or for my intuition possibly, and that's why it feels so foreign. When I first saw it, it looked like there was like swords hanging over this person, like kind of like Nine of Swords, right? Of just being worried and afraid. But like then there's this peaceful thing going on. And this, you can disagree with me, but my interpretation fully of this card now is like, obviously get some rest is a very common one. Not getting communication from somebody is another. But there's also this idea of, to me, of the swords are actually not right over the top of them. They're just hanging on the wall off to the side. And like there's a bed right here and you're going to lay down and take a nice little nap. The swords could stand as like protection over you whilst you're taking a nap. And that's the message that's really coming through for you guys, is this idea of You don't have to be at the ready all the time. All the time, right? Some of you, this is a strong message for some that's really coming through strong. Some of you really, really are vigilant. And it's such a cool quality for people to have. I love it. But at the same time, you got to get rest. You've got to let yourself relax and be vulnerable. And sometimes that's just sleeping, right? Sometimes it's just not worrying and being like, I've done everything I can to overcome this challenge, right? And I'm just going to let go and let whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And I'm at peace with whatever happens because I know my guides and my creator have my back. And I can just close my eyes and lean back and just let somebody else take care of me for a minute. Ooh. Let somebody else take care of me for a minute. And that can come in a lot of forms, guys, and not just guides. It can come in forms of people, partners, professionals. You picking up what I'm putting down there? Okay. Alrighty. Moving along. Yes, I love this. Strength. You guys are totally coming through over and over again that everything's going to be okay. So much so that I'm going to let you go. I really am. They're like, what? For real. Because I honestly feel like in this whole vast array of all these guides that are coming in, there's a vast array of situations. In this vast array of these solutions of guides, people, and predicaments coming through. And by predicaments, I just mean events, things happening that actually work in your favor, okay? But they're like unexpected because you're so worn out with the worry, with the trying so hard to make sure that this turns out okay. Because it's going to turn out okay. Your guides are saying you've done everything you can. You're going to be able to let down and relax because things are going to go well and you're not going to be alone. You're going to have the strength. You're going to be renewed when this is done. Look how happy they are. Everything's okay. Right? And like that, I love the infinity symbol over her head because it's like she knows that sun is always shining on us. That there's benevolent love out there for us that wants us to do well. And that's like the secret of all life is just this benevolent force that wants to see us do as well as we can through our challenges. And so with that, I am going to let you go. If this was helpful, tell me how in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box. Thank you. Oh, there's a client. Take care. Bye. Hello, group 2. So if you picked the little yellowy unicorn on the onyx. Oh my goodness. Unicorn's just getting crazy out here. Let's look into your current challenge and how you're going to overcome it. Basically what I've been doing with this reading so that we don't get lost in trying to acknowledge everybody's specific challenge. This is just going to be the answer to your challenge or a prediction to what your challenge is. Some hints are coming in generally, but it's going to be just very general if as many guides come in for you as they did for the last group. That's for sure. Okay, let's take a look. We have opportunity knocks. Go for it. Opportunity knocks. Go for it. We have butterflies for change and transformation. Unicorns for being special or unique. There's a baby on that unicorn. I feel like that might be some female rite of passage stuff going on here, like a pregnancy. Acknowledging different stages of your own life. Recognizing patterns in your own life. Interesting. Some of you are very close to a sibling. or a very close friend who's close like a sibling, that you may have grown up together or something, or had similar backgrounds that you... Oh, I'm sorry, I should have put on my earbuds. I just realized my ceiling fan is like clackety 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 clack, and I'm used to it, but you guys probably aren't. There we go. Okay. So anyway, sorry about that. It's like this unicorn has wings. It just is going for it. This kid, sorry, boof. This kid who is riding this unicorn is also going for it. Like, they're really determined to head towards that change, break through that bubble, whatever you want to call it. Oh, yep, there's a ship going somewhere. Okay. So yeah, it's good positive energy, whatever your challenge that you're going through, but a lot of change, and I feel like the for some of you, it's just emotionally dealing with the change is the challenge. Cha-cha-cha-cha. I feel like you... And everything's so springy and blooming. It's like all these new things are popping up, is what it feels like for some. This transformation from what you used to be into something new. And that comes excitement, but it also comes with the unknown and some maybe like a little bit of unsureness about choosing. Some of you are getting something that you never expected you were going to get. I really feel like a lot of pregnancy vibes. And I guess my disclaimer on that is, you know, if you're like, yay, I'm going to get pregnant, and then you don't, then this wasn't your pile. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know, it's like there's just, yeah, a lot of pregnancy vibes coming in. Six of Pentacles. Lots of protection energy. Because these little pentacles in this deck look like little shields to me. I love them. Look how cute they are. Oh, I just love all the decks that I own. Anyway. This is a card about balance. Having like the cycle of life going in a good balance, right? So that also kind of goes along with that energy of new things, new change coming in, even if it's not pregnancy, new adventures, getting something you didn't expect in some way. Holding, I got a lot of like Two of Wands vibes from this card, having that world in the palm of your hand and just getting ready to like go off. I am feeling this in summer. Some of you might be like having a summer adventure before you go to college, or having a summer adventure before you go to grad school, or like before you settle down into a new career or settle down into a new lifestyle of some kind. And like really figure out your niche with that new lifestyle. Having a kid would definitely be in that mix as well. Mm-hmm. And I always, when I feel like the pregnancy vibe from cards, and this also came through with group 1, so it might just be something, some epiphany that I'm having spiritually about how guides talk to me and how I hear them. But it's like this idea of when I get a pregnancy card, if it doesn't mean pregnancy specifically, it can also just mean that like this wonderful, beautiful soul that's living in a child is going to come towards you in some way and change your life in some, you know, small or big way. I always think about all the readings that ever got done for me when I was younger. They're like, I see so many children around you. And I was like, no, you don't. I'm not having any. And I was right about that, but I ended up teaching people for 13 years, and it meant so much. It meant so much to me. And I still, like, if I run into young people, like, there's this weird comfortability they have with me to just get into these really like honest conversations. And so they end up teaching me more than I ever taught them, blah, blah, blah. It's like that kind of vibe of, even if it's not a kid coming into your life that's going to be your child, you know, like maybe a nephew or a niece that's just been born to like your sibling, and you both end up having such a huge hand in raising that kid because you end up having like such a special bond to that kid in some soul level that like even their parents don't have in a way. It's like this doesn't really feel like, I mean, I guess unless, like I said, the change is just the challenge. Like maybe some of you are just, when change happens, even if it's exciting change, it feels very overwhelming. Lots of emotions. 7 of Cups. Emotions and lots of choices. You don't have just one choice you have to make. Like there might be one big one and then several other ones that have to go along with it, right? Like the decision to have a child, and then there's like 80,000 other things. You know, are we going to do this with them? Are we going to do that with them? You know, are we going to name them this? Are we going to name them that? Or what are we going to do for them as far as their, you know, medical stuff, you know? Because poor babies have to go through so much medical stuff. What are we going to choose for them? We're going to choose for education, blah, blah, blah. How are we going to deal with each sides of our families? There's just so many different things coming through, and that's just one of the situations. But it does feel very much like there's a lot of kids coming for somebody. Like, when I said that, I like pictured like Village of the Damned. Like these little kids with glowing eyes are just like chasing you. I mean, they didn't chase in Village of the Damned. They just kind of made you chase yourself, if you know what I'm saying. If you've ever seen Village of the Damned or, you know, Reddit or whatever, you'll know. So anyway, just got real dark, real fast. Don't worry, I don't think any Village of the Damned stuff's gonna happen to anybody. But lots of decisions are coming up, regardless of whatever your challenge is. It's like a big challenge that has lots of decisions, like micro decisions you have to make on top of everything else. Okay, here we go. I see like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 2, 3. Love it. Ace of Cups. What a beautiful card. I get such good vibes from these cards in general, all of them, but that one's a special one. So some of you might feel like that was a really special card to you. The Death card. What did we say about change, y'all? Big change. And of course, you know, we always say the Death card doesn't always mean death. I always feel like the Death card is when you know that something's never going to be the same as it was before. Even if it's better, it's going to change, right? So it's like this big overwhelming, yep, I feel it. Okay, I understand. We're on the right track, y'all. Look at that beautiful snake. I actually have a tattoo on my arm and shoulder that look a lot like the snake. Like a peaceful little, not hissy snake, just a happy little changey change. Let's become our beautiful self, snake, or embrace this beautiful time, snake. King of Cups, emotional well-being and maturity, and you know what I feel like when I see the King of Cups, especially this one, it's almost like he's saving this little fish and taking it back out into the water. But he's actually just like getting in the water with the little fish because he's like, you know, the King of Cups. That he's like going to help it in some way, or I don't know. It's like, I definitely get daddy vibes from this card as well. Oof, parents, look out. So some of you, I'm getting the message that if you're having a kid, like, and you're, you know, the mom watching this, like somebody's going to be the good dad in this relationship. And you know that they're going to be like so good to like this kid that's coming into your lives. That's definitely coming through. For others, you're going to be the dad, and this is your guide saying to you, you know, you're going to be an excellent father. And that can even be just like fatherhood roles and, you know, you're not the dad. Please just put yourself in the perspective space that you are. If you've got dad energy or you're watching somebody else with dad energy, there's this reassurance and just a blessing of this is going to be a good father if this is about people having kids. If not, you're going to teach somebody fatherly things. And if I thought fatherly things, I mean like traditionally, right? Traditionally, fathers would teach kids how to, like, I don't know, hunt and fish. I'm thinking about like the area I live in. They teach them how to hunt and fish, how to work on like mechanics, right? So that they can like keep their equipment going and their vehicle getting them around. How to be an upright man and be ethically good out in the world, you know, like showing up on time for work, you know, stuff like that. And like both parents do that, but there's this like traditional, you know, when fathers were heads of the household, they kind of took over that, and the mom did the nurturing and the caring and getting them ready and whatnot, and also teaching them like manners, right? And so that's what, you know, I don't want to make anybody mad. I'm just trying to see the masculine energy that I'm picking up here, like the divine masculine energy. So regardless of who's filling that role, you're going to be taking on those tasks. And sometimes when you're taking on those tasks, they feel like the things that people can do that would get them hurt or send them out into the world where they could get hurt, right? And so there's this like anxiety if you don't teach them just right, something bad's going to happen. That's also like King of Cups energy to me. And it's a message that you're going to do it with flying colors. It's going to be great. Okay. All right. Enough of you parents. My goodness. Your parenting is going to be great. Very reassuring. Lots of love is coming. Lots of joy, overabundance of joy and good things. For some of you that like, I'm getting, you know, working with kids vibes, having like a kid come into your life in some way. I see you also getting a chance to have these precious moments with just the young souls in this world. I feel bad for people that can't interact with children. I understand why some people can't, because like kids can do weird, uncomfortable things. Things that are just uncomfortable, whether they like piss you off or they're rude or like inappropriate, or, you know, they act in a way that is totally the opposite of what you believe a kid should be doing, you know, because of how their parents raised them, etc. They're still people. And like, if you can get past, you know, they're a mess. Don't get me wrong. If you can get past it, there's so many beautiful moments. And if you are lucky enough to work with a bunch of them, there's these little golden, I call them golden nugget kids, where it's just like, you little angel, where did you come from? They're just so sweet and good and just like a beautiful, wonderful soul. And you just know they're going to go have a wonderful life. And like a lot of times they do, because they make these wonderful choices because they're just on a higher vibrational level. I feel that coming in for all of you. So for those of you that are having a kid, this is going to be a magical family. It's going to be a wonderful time. It's going to be special. It's not going to be a mistake. It's not going to get taken away. It's not going to be marred or hurt in any way or lessened. It's going to be great. Good stuff. Very positive messages from the guides. Don't worry. And then for some of you, and this is just something that everybody that's starting a family should know, or if you're starting a family with like, you know, a kid comes into your life and they sort of become part of your little soul family, you become sort of a mentor to them or a friend to them in some way, you know, and they're going to remember you for the rest of their life because they're like, they were just a kid when they met you and you were like a kind of like more grown up, right? Your guides are saying that some of you might get like postpartum depression down the road, and you'll get distressed. If I thought this was going to happen, why isn't it happening? It will. That stuff is a medical temporary thing, and you just need to go see a doctor, okay? There's so much help. Everybody knows what it is now. Like, you just go and you talk to them about, and you don't even have to say like how it's manifesting for you. You say, I really think that I'm dealing with some postpartum depression and I need some help. And if they want you to say, oh, what are your specific thoughts? If they're not a psych, just say, oh, I'd be more comfortable talking to the counselor about that. I'd more or less just like to talk to you about physical, medical things I can do to help, right? And in today's good world, there's a lot of good health people out there that kind of do both, and they will get you in the right spot. If they're not doing that for you, go find a place that does. Woof, now that that's out of the way. Just because this is all going to be so great doesn't mean that there aren't some things that happen that are going to feel emotionally like, what the F? Like, I'm flashing forward and seeing things like a kid being like a little rude monster, like the little angel kid I was just talking about, right? The one that you thought was so special. All of a sudden just turning on a dime and being like ugly for 2 whole seconds because they're a human being, right? And I'm not kidding how bad, like some of you already know, and some of you are about to find out, like that S hurts your mother effing feelings, y'all. And I don't ever hear adults talking about that, but I see it when it happens to them, and I've felt it. And I've literally looked at kids that did it and said, that hurt my feelings. If it was true. And I'm like, you're not responsible for that because I'm responsible for my own feelings. But like the thing that you just said affected me emotionally. And I need to take a minute. And my goodness, those kids, when you said it to them like that, they'd come and they'd apologize to you. Like kids are so like, they understand that, right? If you stay calm and just explain. And you're vulnerable, right? There's this thing about being vulnerable that's a big change. Like you're going to feel like people are seeing you in a whole new way in some way, a lot of you. But for the most part, it's going to be good. So what this card is basically saying is your guides are just telling you, like, when things don't go as good or something unexpected happens and it affects you emotionally, the main message with that is just like that little dorky story I was telling about, like, you hurt my feelings, kid. And the kid's like, did that teacher just tell me that I hurt their feelings, you know? And you're not responsible for that, but it affected me emotionally. You basically say it like you're copying down a sentence that you just taught them, right? This is my thesis. So somehow they understand it because it's been broken down and it's not told in an emotional way. That message is coming through in the sense that your guides are saying when those things do happen, to remember how great it is. Remember the love. It doesn't mean everything's going to be ruined or that everything's going to be bad. Okay. Because when things feel so good, when those things happen, they can really affect you, like in almost a disproportionate way to how that exact act would offend somebody who was like kind of in a worse situation. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, hang in there. It's going to be fun. I feel like. I want one more card just to tie us off here. There it is. Knight of Pentacles. Take it slow. Like they said, you've got a lot of decisions to make. A lot of new roles to fill. And a whole new soul to get to know in some way. Whether it's a biological from you baby soul or you bonding with your kid that you already have in some new crazy way. Getting stepkids. Holy heck, I can't believe I didn't even think about that. That's a super abrupt change. Being a teacher, abrupt change. Working with kids in other capacities. And you haven't ever worked with kids before, it's like you really have to reshift your thinking to get good at it. You really do. I mean, you don't have to reshift your thinking and figure out a way to just get them to go along with you. That's another technique. I find it harder. They'll fight you more. So they'll fight you more and love you a little bit less, in my opinion. But that's how some people have to do it to feel comfortable, and that's fine too. But I feel like for the most part, it's going to be fun. And you've got a lot of planning to do, whoever you all are, right? And you've got a lot of things to think of. The Knight of Pentacles is about taking it slow. You don't have to get it all done today. You don't have to make all those decisions while we're doing this reading, right? Enjoy what you have. Enjoy that Ace of Cups. Don't forget that it's there, that it's coming. And with that, I shall leave you. If this is helpful, tell me how in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box. My friends, wonderful to see you. We shall see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, group 3. So if you picked little blue unicorn on clear quartz, let's go ahead and look at this challenge you're facing. What to do for it. Gratitude. Be grateful for all you have. Oh man, whenever I see that, when people are like, be grateful, have gratitude. Have you ever noticed people say it to you when like you're really going through the real deep S word? Where you're like, yeah. Right, be grateful for all I have. You know, they say it to you when you've lost everything. You know what I mean? Not gonna lie, that's coming through for some of you, and I'm very sorry. I'm just looking at all the really, really tiny little details in this card because there are many, and a lot of times there's like an object or an animal. And I go, oh, Schnapskis, I wish we would have noticed that before. So we're just going to scan through. We've got sunflowers, peacock feathers. Ooh, what's going on in here? Whoa. Her earring has got some crazy stuff going on. Look at this earring. There's a guy in there. Looks like Ariel's dad from Little Mermaid. He was King Titan in that one, right? Was there another like sea god that had a similar look but a slightly different name? I don't know for sure. Let me know. Look at this little fire person. Remember how that unicorn at the very beginning of this reading did the little kissy kissy thing? Oh, kiddos, I'm feeling some major, like, yeah. See what she's holding in her hands? Okay. It's like horses, right? Do you see them right here? Pulling along, and this... There's like a fire person. I can't tell if he's driving these horses or there's this other person up here driving them. Because I swear I saw somebody right up here, but maybe not. Regardless, the message coming through for some of you is that some of you are in love with somebody that maybe your daddy doesn't approve of in some way. Or your daddy figure, your parent, whoever, right? Or like if it's not about romance, you want something. And there's somebody that's kind of in charge of you in some way, be it parental or professional or, you know, I don't know, matrimonial in some way. Or like a job, like a boss wants to keep you from like expanding your horizons or moving on. What's going on over here? I have such a Little Mermaid vibe from this because like she wants something, her dad's, you know, ticked off about it. He's always in her ear and she's just determined to go live on the shore, right? And have her legs. There's also this little person back over here, like a man coming towards her. So, I don't know, guys. You tell me. People wanting to have some babies with somebody, like definitely is coming through with all these little kids playing down here. Somebody wanting to start a life with someone. What's this? That spiral on that seashell, like somebody wanting to be with somebody forever. There's another one. Okay. And just swimming along, going with the flow, wanting everything to just happen the way it's happening. Feel that beautiful sun energy. The sunflowers are also about like the sun. Okay. And that's one of the flower meanings that I know because it's so obvious, the connection it has to tarot. There's palm trees over here. Some of you might be going palm tree-ish. Some of you might like to decorate things with peacock feathers, or you have a peacock tattoo, or you wear peacock jewelry, or like me, you have a peacock dress. It's just like a print, but it's so cute. And I have it in many colors. But yeah, that's the main vibe I'm getting, is like some very heavy romantic energy towards someone, or we'll go ahead and give like career or aspirations or obsessions in some cases. I'm not saying it's a bad obsession. I'm just saying that some of you are obsessing a little bit over what you want. And you've got somebody in your ear who's trying to be cautionary with you. But they're also a little overprotective, so it's hard for you to take them seriously, and it's hard for you to, you're giving me such Ariel vibes, my friends. Oh, it's so funny. I feel like I'm just like, people out there watching are gonna be like, she's just describing the plot of The Little Mermaid. She's so full of it. I mean, that's just the vibe I'm getting. It is a tale as old as time, as they say in Beauty and the Beast. Real Disney vibe going on here. You guys might have liked Disney films when you were kids. Or maybe you love them now. Maybe you're one of those Disney people that are like, I love it forever. You know, I've met some Disney ultra fans, let's call them. Where it is the most magical place on earth. Oh, baby, here we go. Yep, conflict. You want what you want so bad that it's causing conflict in other areas where people don't want you to go. I'm feeling a very rebellious vibe. I'm just, remember, it's not like Ariel and her dad were like, let's sit down and have a calm chat about why you keep going up to the surface, you little freak. Why do you want legs so bad, you little freak? Okay. And she's like, I'm not a kid anymore. F you, Dad. I mean, you know, all the things. It's so funny that that's coming through. I honestly don't feel like, you know, that you guys are a 16-year-old, you know, who wants legs. I feel like you're it's just the dynamic of that. Like, you want something. It's causing some conflict in your life with some other person, somebody you respect, somebody who loves you very much, somebody who worries about you. Definitely getting parent vibes. So yes, I'm just calling it what it is. Because our parents can have like a major dynamic in our lives even way later on, as we all well know. Some more than others. That was one thing I felt like my parents kind of did well. Like, as soon as we turned 18, they're like, well, good luck. And I mean, they're still there for us emotionally and stuff. And I mean, I think even financially in some, you know, emergency cases. But at the same time, they were very much as far as like, you know, if you want my opinion, you can ask for it, but you don't have to, you know. You don't have to look for our approval on your decisions. And for the most part, they held to that pretty well. I was very impressed by that with my parents. Some of you have some friends with tattoos. I'm just throwing that out there so some people know they're in the right place. But yeah, there's conflict in your lives or something that you want really bad, but you're going after it regardless. Even if something bad happens to you. That's also that Ariel energy that I'm feeling. She's like, I'll do a deal with someone if that makes it okay. If that gets me what I want, you know? And I'm not saying you're going to go make an evil deal with some sea witch. I'm just saying that you're determined to do it. You know, I'll use my credit cards I'll go into debt if that's what it takes to get this done. I'll work, you know, 12 hours a day if that's what it takes, you know, 6 days a week if that's what it takes to get this done, and then take a side job on that 7th day. I mean, like, good grief, I'm feeling a lot of determination. And there it is, the Lovers. Forbidden love in some cases for you. You know who you are. I admire people that go after the forbidden love thing because they're so full of passion. But I just don't know where you get the energy. I really don't. I mean, dedication of any kind is hard for me to latch onto. I have a hard time with commitments in a lot of cases. Not so much like with relationships. It's just like, am I gonna fight with this until it actually like causes damage in an area in my life? I'm like, no, I'm too lazy for it, is what I mean. And that's why I admire people like you, is because like you do it for such noble reasons, and I don't. So good for you. I don't abstain for noble reasons. They're selfish, lazy reasons. If I'm like, I'm not going to chase that. No, not worth it. Not worth the trouble. You got to pick your battles, and you have definitely picked yours. Faux show. Okay, let's go ahead and get you some more tarot. Eight of Cups. Some of you are willing to walk away from those people that you respect and move toward the thing you want. That's definitely coming through. Some of you, just a few maybe, got a shock of fear when I was talking, because you were like, is she going to tell me that it's not going to work out, that I'm, after fighting for what I want so hard and maybe even letting go of someone to do it, or disappoint them in some way to do it, or even just suffer through an argument to do it, right? I feel this overwhelming like energy from you of just those few of, this better work out. It has to work out. Don't you tell me it's not going to work out. And honestly, even if the thing that you really want doesn't work out, I always say that if it's what you really want, go for it. You know, if your guides are saying to walk away, and that might be coming through for some of you might know that this is a crazy idea or something, like, I don't know. If you know it's not a crazy idea, this isn't for you. Like, if some of you are like, I feel a little unhinged right now, maybe this is for you. This is only for people that are really willing to look at themselves or listen to a really deep message from their guides. And I'm telling you, when you're determined, it's hard to know anyway. So I guess this will be reflection for some that go after what you want anyway. And there's something noble about going after what you want anyway, even if it doesn't work out, right? We all know that, don't we? I know that. It's all just if the juice is worth the squeeze, you know? And there's always that chance that there might not be that much juice in there, right? Yeah, okay. So some of your guides are saying maybe walk away from this one, or at least stop and really emotionally consider the emotional ramifications of the decisions you're making right now for whatever that is, whatever you're going towards. Even if this isn't about chasing love, it could be about chasing something else that you just really, something you want. I chase like trying to learn spiritual things. I chase those things. And the more I learn, the less I know. And I go, no, I thought I was going to figure this out. And it's like, no, sorry, sweetheart. And the same thing with my health. You know, I'm going to figure out what I've got. I got to figure out a cure, you know, all that stupid stuff. And it's like, the more you learn, the more, you know, they just diagnose you with more stuff. And you're like, what does that have to do with what's going on? They're like, nothing really. That's just what you've got now. And you're like, and you just have to decide if that's true or not. I mean, it's a B word. Okay. I get it. So chasing anything, it feels strong. And I feel for some of you, it is what it is. There is no getting, you know, and everybody's got a lot of advice for you. You're in control of what you're going to do. That's something I want to make clear. For some of you, you're going to get what you want, or you're going to accomplish getting that thing. It's just coming at such a heavy price at this point. And some of you, it's definitely love, or something that you just really, something ideal that you want bad. 6 of Cups. Of course, this could represent some of your people. It also has that parental feel also of like that, you know, how close you are. Not all of us, you know, everybody's situations can be vastly different, even from very young ages. But how you felt about, if you had, you know, okay parents that were affectionate towards you and stuff, Do you remember how magical and flawless they seemed when you were really little? Like they were your mom, they were your dad, they were like your gods in some ways, in some cases for some of us. And that's the message coming through for some of you. This feeling of maybe having to walk away from that is heavy for some of you. There's so many challenges here that are so different from one another that just have that current theme running through it that I'm really regretting going into all these different scenarios because I feel like I'm not hitting them all. But there's that authority over you as you move forward into something else. Like it could be even something simple as like a mentor you had in college and you're going to do something outside of, you're leaving that field and they're like, but you and I were going to write a book together. And you're like, too bad, Grandpa, I'm out of here. And they're like, no. And like, even though professionally they shouldn't do that, they did anyway. That's a weird scenario that just popped into my mind. And then they kind of in some roundabout passive aggressive way trying to make it seem like you could have always been more than you turned out to be. Holy smokes. Sorry, that just blasted me in the face. It must have felt like a slap in the face to some of you. Of, you know, but also this, I feel this stilling yourself of I'm going to walk forward and go on. I know these guys all seem similar looking in these decks, but see how similar these two look and how young she looks and then how old she looks here. And her hair is like done up in a more mature fashion. Her ears are pierced and she's got her sack and she is headed at her makeup's on and she is looking fierce and headed out. That's coming through. Okay. Heavy stuff. Big decisions. Hard choices. I get it. Yeah. Some of you are going no contact. Some people have had people go no contact with them as they've been moving forward towards what they want. Sorry, I had to cough. I'm going to do it again. I don't want to cough while my earbuds are in. Because then you'll really feel it. You'll feel it more than I do. Alrighty. Some of you are getting a message from your guides that you need to take a rest and breathe and think about what you're doing. That is coming through for some. I'm sorry. I know that the reason why I'm being so apologetic is because I feel like the people who are hearing that or who that message is for don't want to hear that right now. I'm just the messenger. Sorry. Moving on. Yeah, and a lot of it's just your guides telling you to get some rest. Like you're moving so hard towards this, you need to remember to take a break now and again. The conflict is also draining. It's important to maybe walk away during a heated argument and say, I'm going to get my ish together and then we can come back and discuss this when we've calmed down. That is totally healthy and okay to do. There's that coming through. Knight of Cups. Yeah. The offer is too sweet to resist. I feel like y'all are going for it, all of you. I feel like you're all going to go for it, regardless of what your guides are telling you for some. And that's, I respect you for that. I do. Because I feel like some of you are like, hey, 99% of this is a chance that it's going to fail. 99%. I've got a 1% chance it might turn out okay. I'm going to take it. That's what I'm feeling from the people that are being warned from your guides. And I respect that decision. Your guides do too. And for some of you, you're going to get what you want. You know? And here's the thing, that 1% or whatever of you that are like, I'm doing this regardless. Even if you're telling me it's not going to work out, I'm still going to try. I love you for that. I do. And I'm going to throw this into your little basket of hope here. When you get that mindset on, you're that much closer, and so much closer than you think in a lot of cases, of manifesting what you want into reality, because we can always change the outcome of a reading. We can always change anything with our actions and our will. So with that, I'm going to leave you. If this was helpful, tell me how in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box. Hang in there, my little aerial crew. I'd quote something from that movie for you or from the original story, but I don't have it memorized that well. I hope that you get everything you want. Let me know if you do in the comment section. We will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye. Hello, group 4. So if you picked the amethyst and the very cute little pink unicorn, we gave her a name in the intro and I already forgot what it was. Kissy unicorn. Oh, I remember. Uh-oh. That's what it was. Okay. Yep, I remember she kissed the camera a bunch, and the reason why she did that was because this might be a romance reading. I'm already feeling that coming through. You guys are gross. The last one turned out romantic as well, and I didn't call them gross once, so I'm going to try to leave it there and just give you a good reading on whatever's happening for those that are here for the romancy challenges. Oh, cheer up, live in the moment. Okay, so this is coming in really hard and fast for some of your romantic crew. I'm going to deal with you first and then see who else is here. As far as what I see is her just being in the water and like dancing in the water and letting the rays hit her and having what I have in my mind called a carefree abandonment of care, of worry. Sorry, I zoom in really close on these because sometimes there's little animals. I don't see any here, but if you see any, let me know in the comment section. And I will tell you what my interpretation of that would be if I know. I'm getting star vibes, like the star card in tarot. Like wishing upon stars. As above, so below energy, like... Because there's this tree actually in the water almost with her or something. Yeah. Yeah. She's on the water. There's some stuff off there in the distance, so I'm not crazy. But maybe not in the water. It feels like she's dancing in the water. And those are like bubbles in some cases. I don't know. My point is this. For those of you that are watching this for romance and you're in a romantic challenge, I feel like your guides are saying that things are actually going quite well for some of you and that you need to just cheer up and live in the moment. And what I mean is I think some of you are doing what I call future jumping. And it happens a lot for some people, when they're in like a new relationship and it feels like things are going well, but then they like remember a bad experience that happened to them in the past with their last, ex or whatever. And they're like, I thought everything was going well when that happened too. And then that happened. So is it really going well? And now I'm watching them really close and they did this and they did that. Nobody's perfect. They might have done some things that aren't that serious, but you're wondering if they're red flags to something that might be serious. Okay. This is just one group of people that are here listening to this right now. And your guides are telling you this. They're saying that you don't really actually have anything to worry about. And I feel like this is if you are in a new relationship or things feel like they're going really well newly, if it's an older relationship and you don't want the other shoe to drop. Your guides are saying you need to enjoy things while they are good because they are good. That is definitely coming through. What else? Breakup energy I'm also feeling. I'm feeling like some of you you can't stop thinking about like your ex. You are scared that this is really it this time, or like this has never happened and then they just broke up with you. What is going to happen now? Are they really gone forever? Like I didn't even see this coming in. And your guides are saying that with the people that this is a breakup, they're saying to live in the moment, don't future jump there as well. Like, how are we going to get them back? Like you end up calling like a billion psychics like me. Call me a billion times if you want, though. I'll keep telling you the same stuff over and over again on one of those. but this is a free channel for the time, and so let's just say what your guides are telling you, and that is, you don't have to try to figure out how you're going to make this person get back together with you, how you're going to make them understand and work things out, how you're going to make them change and do it better this time, that sort of thing. For the people who are broken up, not the people who are still with somebody and it's going well and you're scared you're going to break up. That's not about you. This is, you've already broken up people. And you are having a hard time. You don't want to break up is the main thing that I'm seeing. Your guys are saying you need to live in the moment. They're not even like telling you right now, like, oh, you're going to get back together. So just live in the moment now until it happens. I feel like that might be the case for some of you, and for some of you it might not, but by the time you get there, if you're living in the moment for yourself right now, it will be less painful once you make that realization that was for the best. Those are the two messages that are coming through. You know, I wish I could tell you which ones are which, you know, that's very split reading, but that is what I'm getting for both of these scenarios. Or for this side of the scenario, the breakup crew. Some of you are probably going to get what you want, some of you aren't. But the ones that aren't are going to realize that why and feel at peace with it by the time it happens. So I just want you to know that, and don't be afraid, whichever one that turns out to be, if you can. Sometimes we can't see exactly what's coming that's going to give us that relief, but I want you to feel that in your heart if you can. Okay, because I feel like always if somebody really doesn't want something to happen and your guy's like, hey, it's gonna happen, and you're like, no, you know, I get it. It's not fun. Yeah, like holding on to something pretty tight. And then those of you who are in a good situation and you're worried that it's gonna go bad, it's like having all that money and not spending it, right? They're just worried about it all the time. Those are the messages that are coming through. Ooh, rough crowd, guys. And I don't mean you guys are being rough on me. I just mean like life's kind of being rough on you a little bit. Your emotions are rough, you know. You're not cheerful yet right this second, right? You're worried. You're upset. I totally get it. I do. So the main thing, I know it doesn't feel like it right now, the main thing that we got to focus on right now is that your guys are saying that everything's going to be okay. It's going to work out for some, it's going to work out for the best, regardless of which way it goes for you guys. Okay? For those of you that are with somebody and you're worried, like your guys are saying that in some cases it's too soon to see if it's even going to work out yet. You know, like it's just getting started. Everybody has free will and can... You know, there's never going to be a full-on guarantee that someone's going to, like, always do what you want them to do, including stay with you, right? But in this particular case, they're telling you, but it's really not that critical. Like, they probably are really actually going to stay with you. At least that's what they want to do right now. And so enjoy it while their intentions are good. Enjoy it while things are going well. Because you never know what's going to come along and change things because of the wills of others, your own decisions and mistakes, their decisions and mistakes. You know, life is a roller coaster. But right now things are good, and your guides want you guys to focus on that and live in the moment. Yeah. Okay. Your guides are saying you know the truth. You know that they're giving you sound advice right now, and that's what you need to do to move forward. They're also telling you, if you're in that group that's kind of worried about a significant other turning or just not being what you hoped they would be, or the relationship or what you want so bad, right, isn't going to turn out well, but it feels good right now. They're saying that the truth of the matter is it's going to go well. This is just the beginning of it going well. You can relax and know that the truth is it is as good as it feels. It's as good as you think it is, but you're too worried to enjoy it. That's what's coming in. Okay. It's like people that have a lot of money, but they like don't ever spend it on like a nice car because they're like, somebody will just try to steal it. And they're like, no, legit, for real, somebody will try to steal it. And it's true. It does put more of a target on you to get messed with. If you have a nice looking property, people are going to want to break into it more. Right? And so, you know, if you have nice things, like people are going to want to take them more. I totally get it. But your guides are showing that if you don't enjoy it, then it's like you never had it to begin with. La, da, 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 da. And I know some of you are like, I know, I'm still worried. There's techniques we can do to help you with that. You know, there's professionals you can talk to, say things are going really well, but I can't stop worrying, right? You can tell your guides, like, help me focus in on the things that are good. Write yourself a list. What are the things that are good? How are things going well? Allow yourself, next, here we go, to do some manifestation in positive nature. I'm going to sit back and fantasize and picture it going well. And that can sometimes get you to that next step energetically. And you'll be like, I know I did that with my manifestation powers. That's in the bag for all of you, babies. Somebody's guy just said, man, there's so much mopey fear in this one. Dang, dude. It wasn't me. But they said it with love. They really did. I'm just like, I feel like that was some kind of an inside joke that somebody had with someone where if you were super sad, even if it was for a good reason, they were like, cheer the F up. And they would kind of do that to you. I don't know. Whoever it is has that kind of personality. That energy just came through. That was specific, so don't take it to hurt, everyone. And it was not me. That was so funny. Okay, I'm going to get some cards. More cards on this challenge. Wheel of Fortune. Yes. Some of you, this is like they're saying this is a good time. This is a lucky time, right? Even if you're broken up and you don't understand, in time it's going to get better. Okay? Those are the two messages that are coming through for this. It's either a great time for you or it's about to be for reasons you cannot see yet. And transformation is on the way. But so is protection. Yay, Ace of Cups, overflowing abundance. Those of you that are worried about love and you're still with that person, please stop. Things are looking pretty good. Those of you who are broken up, remember always that when something ends, it sometimes opens up for something better. And a lot of times it's a person, my friends. And you look back and you think, I know why I loved that other person. And I now know why we broke up. And I now understand why this person is more compatible for me. And everything worked out for the best for all of us. That's possible. Oh my gosh, I need water. Ah! Hello. Okay. So anyway, moving right along. Sorry, I had a coughing fit and then I had to get a drink of water and then I had to eat some pretzels and now I got to remember what I was doing. This is a lucky time for some of you. For others, if it's an ending, something better can always come in. Okay. Things are going to get better, even better than you can imagine. Let's go along. Four of Cups is always about don't focus on the wrong spot. Don't get too complacent with, oh, I know how this is going to go, right? I know that the other shoe's going to drop. You know what I mean? Like, I know that. I just know it because it always happens, right? Or I just know that I'm never going to find anybody like so-and-so. I'm never going to find anyone like Brad. Don't take that personal too bad. I mean, like, unless it's just a little boost that you're supposed to be here, but it's actually somebody named Brad. But I use the name Brad a lot, just like I use the name Carol. And it's just for the fictitious person that isn't here in the room with us. And I'm just making a point to them so that nobody feels picked upon. Anyway, going on. Moving on from Brad. Move on. Some of you need to move on from Brad. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. You never know what's going to come out of my mouth. All right, so I never know. It's right there, you know, like the good stuff is right there. And don't, you know, if you're staring at the worry and you're staring at the stuff that hasn't even happened yet, or you know how it's going to go, right? And so you're just going to, no, I'm not looking, you know, that kind of energy is coming through. When those two end up right next to each other like that, your guys are like, hello, you know, you need to look right there. You, no, you, and you, and you, all of you. Ten of Swords. I'm going to get all... Oh, let me rephrase. Your guides are about to get all parental on some of you. It's about to go tough love. Okay? We are never going to be able to have a relationship where somebody doesn't end up hurting us somehow, where something doesn't end up going wrong. But if we're constantly looking for it, even when things are going right, that can lead to all kinds of misery and feeling stuck, and it keeps you stuck in a pattern. And that's the message I'm getting with this one for that group that's worried. I'm not shaming you. And I'm not saying that's easy to do when you've been conditioned into worrying so much, because I am like that too. This is a struggle for me. I'm not giving anybody a hard, I'm not even good at it yet. Okay? I promise you. But I cognitively know, because I get told this all the time too by my guides, and I know it's true because it's just common sense, honestly. I mean, like, you know, A, B, C, we all know one thing leads to the other. If we're constantly looking for something to worry about, we're going to see more of it. Even if there is a lot to worry about, and in this case, there's not. Whew. But I know sometimes there is, and we didn't know, and we didn't see it, and then we wished we would have known later. You know, I get it. I totally get it, you guys. I know it's not easy. But your guides are, you know, you came here because you want peace of mind. Your guides are saying that you have it. I just feel like you're like, I still can't relax. You know, your guides are saying you need to relax or you're going to stay stuck in that worry. You need to enjoy it. If we're always worried about what bad thing we can't see is going to come down the road and get us, you know, eventually all we did was worry about it until it got there. Because nothing's ever going to be perfect forever. But it doesn't mean everything's going to always end in disaster either. Okay? Oof, done with message 1. Message 2, tough love for you. Here we go. You get ready. It's not even me, it's your guides. You are going to stay stuck if you constantly pine after something that is gone, or constantly wait for something to come back, right? Because some of you, they might come back. But sitting and worrying and I mean, like, for some of you, it might even be like a week from now that they come back and you work it all out and you end up better than you were before. That's there for someone. But at the same time, it's possible for anyone, right? They could change their mind, whatever. But if you sit and wait on that precipice after somebody says, no, we're done, and they walk out, right? Then you just sit in agony, waiting for it to turn out better. Or even if somebody kind of strings you along, like, I don't know, let's take some time apart and decide. Like, then take that time and be like, okay, I'm going to take some time to decide if I want to be with you, schmuck cup. It's a new little insult I just came up with. Or it was one of your guides who's always said that, and you're like, nope, that's so-and-so. They said it all their life, calling people schmuck cups. Although I'd be surprised, you know, because it's like two different like words from like totally different generations and cultures mixed together in like a really weird way. But, you know, hey, I guess it happens. Either that or my brain's weird and I just came up with that on my own. Not sure which one that was, but it's because I wanted to say the other one and I was trying to like euphemize. And then I thought it just sounded funny and I'm going to say it forever. Don't stay stuck worried about like a schmuck. For one, that's coming through for some of you, very specifically from my guide. And I'm not saying that I know you don't want us to call them a schmuck, but if somebody's making you wait on that, I'm talking to the people that message came in of, oh, let's take some time apart and decide. Okay. I feel like if it's worth staying together, and this is just my personal opinion, if it's worth staying together, then just don't break up until you figure out you shouldn't stay together. I mean, that's just how I feel about it. And so I feel like when people are doing the whole, let's break up and see how it feels, it's because they're confused about what they really want. And that's fine, but call it what it is. You know, I want to go do other things, and then I want you to maybe still be back there if I decide that I want to still be with you. That's never fun for the other person on the other side of that, you guys. There's no way to make that better. I'm not saying it can't not happen sometimes, because sometimes people just have to do what they have to do. But the person that has to sit and wait for them, well, they don't have to sit and wait. They can go figure out if they want them too. You hear me? You feel me? Just saying. So don't stay stuck if you're in that situation either. Move on with your life. Don't wait for people to make you happy. Enjoy the things that are going on that are happy. Live in the moment. If things feel good, then accept them as being good. And don't worry about something taking it away. Just enjoy it while it's there. It's a hard-nosed thing like that's coming through. Like your guides are they're very lovingly saying like they know how hard this is, how emotional it can be, and how hard it would be for you if it didn't work out. Or how hard it is for you that it didn't work out, right? That it might not get back to what it was. They are not discounting that, but they're saying you can't stay stuck in any of your situations. You can't. I'm going to get you some more cards just to maybe give you your nurturing sides of your guides. Yep. They're reminding you guys again. This could be the start to this is the start to something beautiful, right? This is the start to something beautiful. It's right there with that Ace of Cups. And if it doesn't feel like that's where it's going to end up, tell yourself that it's going to. Don't say it's going to end up this way because they're going to take me back or this is going to happen for me. Just at the end of this, I am going to feel like, oh, this was just the start of something beautiful. And now I know. And now I'm full of overflowing joy and it's a lucky time and I'm not stuck. Okay? Please do that for me if you can. Do it for yourselves. And hang in there. And thank you to your very tough guides. And remember, you got the kissy unicorn. You didn't know it was going to be the kissy unicorn. I can't imagine kissy unicorn, not bringing some ray of hope with it that you're going to be happy at the end of this. It was like, kiss and make it better while it hurts right now, but it's going to be better or it's already good. Like, come on, guys. Oh, I hope this makes you feel better in some way. Your guides were trying to really be reassuring. They just unfortunately had me as their medium. But if this was helpful, tell me how in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading, there are ways to do so in the description box. We will see you next time, my friends. Take care. Bye.